Let's get ready, say go. Let's go. Rainbows in the sky, let's fly away like a bird. You're free to see the boundless face of the earth. Let the wind blow you like a knife and glide away. For beyond the clouds, you'll find another place. If the road ahead seems so cold and gray, night never turns to day. Don't you be afraid. Go and fly away. Chala, hey chala. No time to hesitate. Go on and search the earth. Within it lies a magic surprise. Oh, chala, hey chala. Don't be afraid. You got the power to get through the darkest night. Chala. Zooming round and round in the sky like a coaster. Hold on tight, or you may find yourself trapped in a maze. When that happens, you may think you will never find your way. As the past you may take seem all the same. If the road ahead should leave you so cold and gray, when night never turns to day, don't you be afraid. Go and fly away. Chala, hey chala. No time to hesitate. Go on and search the earth. Within it lies a magic surprise. Oh, chala, hey chala. Be cool, don't be afraid. You got the power to get you through the darkest night. Hey chala. No time to hesitate. Go on and search the earth. Remember it is a magic surprise. Oh, chala, hey chala. Be cool, don't be afraid. You got the power to get you through the darkest nights. Chala. Let's get ready, say go.
Like answering.
ELW proudly presents Tuesday night CliqBait Wrestling. What is going on, chat? It's your boy Smith, as always, joined by my North American Thick Boy tag team partner, Mattitude 22. What is going on?
Oh, baby.
We got a lot to talk about. We had a big weekend for wrestling. We
Like
had
I like that.
WWE Vengeance Day. We had the Grand Slam in Australia. And a lot of other things to talk about. So, and like I said, we're here tonight. It's Tuesday. It's NXT live. Got a big card tonight. So, We got a lot to talk about. I think like this weekend, Vengeance Day was a good show. We'll definitely talk more on that. Dynamite was a good show. Even though I know people kind of gave it a lot of shit because of the ring and everything, which yeah was a little bit off-putting, but it's like whatever, man. I don't. Did it
I
look a
don't know.
little goofy? Yes.
Like
But I mean,
okay,
the
here's
wrestling was still good. Like it's not like the wrestling was hindering all that much, but
yeah,
it did
precisely.
look a little. I will say the ring did look a little bushly. That it's like, how did y'all do all? How y'all come all this way and forget your ring, bro?
Like yeah, me too. Like the ring was. So what was the deal with the ring, right? Like they just wanted
Well,
to like is it they just didn't
apparently
want to
from what I was told, they forgot it, and then so they had to borrow a ring from either one of the indie. Here's the two sides of what I've heard. Either they borrowed it from an indie profession, like an indie fed out there in Australia, or it's a Kyle Fletcher had to call a friend to borrow a ring. Either way, that's probably one of the same. Because I'm gonna assume if Kyle Fletcher had a friend that does wrestling and has a ring, he probably works for an independent promotion. So it's probably one and the same. But that's the gist of they didn't have their ring. Kyle Fletcher had to go to a friend and they had to borrow his ring, and he had a tiny fucking ring.
yeah.
Now, again, people will make the argument, well, this is not the first time AEW has wrestled in this small ring, and it's not the first company to wrestle in the small ring. Yes, this is all true, but to sit there and go, well, you got people that go, well, TNA had a small ring. Well, this ain't fucking TNA. First off, one is not the other. Like, that's like someone sitting there going, well, WWE, this ain't WWE. Oh, shit! Moose!
I was I was waiting. I was waiting.
Moose.
I was waiting.
Moose.
I don't know.
And
Like the
Obafemi?
whole
Who
ring,
said Obafemi?
like the whole deal with the ring is like did it look small? Yes. Like was it that much of a detractor? Like not really. Like once the show kind of got going, like I honestly didn't even notice the size of the ring. Like it was noticeable at first, but once you kind of get into the first match, it's like all right, you're just kind of used to it.
You know what? Say what people want to say. As the main roster of WWE's kind of been in a bit of a wane on certain things. NXT's cooking, son. I don't care what nobody's saying. NXT's doing great things over here, man. They're taking
Yeah, all right.
advantage of something that people crowed about 5 years ago during the pandemic and 4 years ago when it was a thing, and that being like the forbidden door. Like I said, right now, this might be 5 years later, but it's like this whole thing, WWE, NXT, they cooking with it. Like the crossover, I think is good. Like I said, it's benefiting both companies. Everybody's getting their best on TV, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You gotta trust the system, Oba. You gotta trust the system.
See, like this to me is like this to me is effective use of the crossover. Like I think they do it too far too frequently, but like this is an example of like this is effective use. Like this is like something like a big time like dream match. Like that's how you utilize crossover. That's how you do it effectively. You give us like a you give us like a incredible like dream match, you know?
I mean, this is a good
Like
pairing right here.
instead of
Boots versus fucking Obafemi.
like instead of just like oh like Jasmine Nix is here on TNA, like nobody cares about that. But like this is something where like this is how you do like a fucking crossover.
I mean, to be honest,
Like,
this roster of NXT right now is probably as most stacked as it was since like the Black and Gold era. Like the names, like just adding on to having now TNA talent to kind of pick through. I mean, with Jordan Grace, we got Ricky Starks. Like, I mean, this roster is fucking stacked. Plus, they sitting
I mean,
there grooming their own too.
it's better than the new class. Like,
Oh, the new
yeah, I
class,
will
but see, the
say
new
that.
class was definitely, you could tell, like the new class was definitely a McMahon Kevin Dunn project because that was just sitting there trying to do the typical, let's just attract people with bright shiny things and new colors, and we call it new. Throw a 2.0 on it, and it's like, yeah, that shit just whatever. But it's like once Triple H got back on it and he got fucking Hickenbottom up in there cooking, it's a different show.
Yep.
I mean, like they're utilizing all their talent, even the ones on the come up, like instead of just this, like yeah. But like I said, the roster's pretty stacked. Now, like I said, Triple H got back when once he got the keys back, it was like, all right. There was that initiative where they was like, all right, no more indie darlings, no more indie darlings. We're just gonna grow our own. And here come Triple H, like, yeah, we can grow our own, but we can still use some of these indie darlings. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers who got some experience. We can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So, all right, big ups Gojira, big ups Ian. So, like I said, I like this version of NXT is definitely. I wouldn't say it's as good as Black and Gold because nothing touched Black and Gold in the Full Sail
No,
era.
but it's as good as you're gonna get.
It's as good as you're gonna get.
I
We
think.
ain't gonna never have Full Sail again. That's one of those type of things
Yeah.
where like lightning in the bottle type situations.
Yeah. Exactly. Like that was just like something that could never be
Like
duplicated.
even if they was to go back to Full Sail, it's still not gonna be the same. It wouldn't be the same. Like that magic is gone. Them people are gone. Like that feeling is gone. It's just gonna be.
Yeah.
It's one of those things people remember fondly the same way how we do the Attitude Era now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
You're just gonna be like, ah man, you remember the Full Sail era of NXT? Like that was the best era, the Full Sail era.
Like it was like you had to be there. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Back when NXT was still considered somewhat a developmental, and then all, like I said, the shit was so good it forced them to just make it a third brand. That's how good it was. Like they were putting on better pay-per-views than the main roster at one point. Them fucking
Yeah.
takeovers were doing it.
Yep. It's just they had the right roster at the right time, right? Like if you go back and
Yeah,
like you
because
had
because
Keith
Triple H
Lee.
was picking all the indie
Yeah.
darlings back then. He's like, yo,
Like
who's the people they talking about? Get me that dude. Who's the
yep.
hotness?
Like
Oh,
like
Sami
you had
Zayn. Get me that dude. Who the
uh,
hotness? Bobby Roode. McIntyre got back in shape. Get me that dude. Oh, Kevin
yeah,
Steen.
like you
Get me
had
that dude. Oh, Hideo Itami.
Finn
Get me that dude.
Finn Finn
Yeah,
Balor,
get me
like
that. Prince
Undisputed
Devitt, get
Era.
me that dude. Shinsuke, get me that.
Mhm.
Oh, we can get Juicy Thunder Liger for a night? Get me that dude.
Like Samoa Joe was there for a
Yeah.
minute.
You know what I mean? When Andrade met something, when Johnny Gargano was somebody, when Adam Cole had muscle mass.
Who's these guys?
Who you talking about? The new, you talking about the new Retribution?
Oh no, I guess I'm seeing something different than you.
Oh, I know who you. Okay, are you watching the Eddie Thorpe segment?
Yeah.
Uh, those dudes who were formerly Chase U students in the background, now getting speaking roles.
Oh.
Don't know their names, but the long haired dude I recognize because he used to always be in the Chase U segments, but he didn't have a speaking role. But I guess now he's got promoted to speaking role.
Good for him.
Swans Crossing welcomes Mila Rosnovsky.
Oh, I fucking hate this girl.
So how do no name jobber lackeys make a match for Andre Chase? Explain that to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had some wrestling this weekend. We had so I guess I don't know what it is, but I think they're definitely branding NXT differently nowadays because they're accentuating the WWE more part of it, even though it was like a third brand. But it's like, okay, when they do the PLEs, it's not NXT Vengeance Day anymore. It's just WWE Vengeance Day.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Like all the branding, like of it, like they're not NXT PLEs, they're just WWE PLEs, just under, but also NXT at the same time. Which I'm like, I mean, I don't care either way. But it's again, it's one of those things.
Gojira,
It's those little things they throw in there that you got to pay attention to.
it's the thing with the sword. Is like, listen, like you can't be coming out with a sword all the time and not stab somebody at least once. Like if you coming
Or at
out
least
with a
make the
sword,
attempt of you gonna stab someone.
you know what I mean? Like Gojira, like Sting was coming out with a bat. Sting stayed mollywopping people with that bat. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so we
Like you
got
can't be
Kalani
coming.
Jordan taking on Karma Petrovich taking on Jada Parker in a three-way.
Like, you can't be coming out with a sword all the time and not try to decapitate someone at least once.
Oh, and this
That's
is
right,
a
Gojira.
number one
Chekhov's gun.
contender for the North American Championship, which I guess is the best way to start it off. Well, we started off Vengeance Day with a North American Championship match for the women. Fallon Henley defended the title against Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
It's a decent match. Stephanie, like, Fallon Henley's, like, she's middle of the road, but, you could definitely see Stephanie basically carried most of that match.
Yeah. I think uh I think it's cool for Fallon. Like she got to have her moment. Like she got to have her little title run. But yeah, like it was pretty obvious that she was just gonna be transitioning it to Vacker. Like she obviously wasn't beating Vacker. You know?
Yeah. But, yes, Stephanie Vaquer picking up her first North American, first title in WWE. WWE tried to do the thing of like, oh, we have the first South American born uh champion WWE, which is incorrect. That person, do you know who the actual first South American person to win a championship in WWE is? You want to take a guess, Matt?
Uh,
Anybody in the chat? Anybody want to take a guess?
can you give me a hint?
No. Just think of
Is it
all the
somebody like?
champions through the history of WWE, and if you remember any of them being from South America.
Is it somebody like really obscure?
Almost. I'll give you this hint. They were a former Intercontinental Champion.
Okay.
Give up?
Okay. Yeah, I do.
Ezekiel Jackson.
Wow. Really?
Yep.
Okay.
He is from whatchamacallit, I forget the country's name, but it's in South. He's actually the first. Now
Okay, you know what?
Stephanie, Ezekiel Jackson.
That totally makes sense then, because you can see why they would be like, yeah, we don't talk about Ezekiel Jackson
Yeah,
anymore.
we're not gonna acknowledge the dude who don't work here and hasn't worked here for years. I makes
Like
sense,
that's the
but technically incorrect. Ezekiel Jackson was the first. But like I always say, when it comes to WWE, man, they love changing the history.
Yep.
Uh, Arturo, welcome to the show. I do apologize. I do not read Espanol. So, as much as I'd love to answer your question, I can't read your question. But I do appreciate you coming through. So, ¿cómo está? Welcome to KliqBait Wrestling. So don't take it personal if we don't answer your questions. My Espanol, no muy poquito, sir. Muy poquito.
I wish I could like Google Translate it or something.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's an app for that, but you know, it's what it is. Yeah, she is Chilean and learned lucha libre in Mexico and Japan and the world. Thank you. Okay, appreciate you, sir. Yeah. But yeah, good match happening for Stephanie. Honestly, here's the thing. I know Julia's supposed to be the new crown jewel of NXT, but I think Stephanie's way more over than her right now.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, Julia's over too, but I feel like Stephanie's way more over than Julia right now. And
Yeah,
I'm okay
I
with
would
that.
agree.
I'm okay with that. I like
I
Stephanie.
think I think the AEW thing really gave her a bump, you know?
Oh, it definitely
As
gave her
much
a
as people
bump. It gave.
as
Listen, no
as
one
much
knew
as
about her
people
until she showed up there. So she
that's
definitely
right.
got a bump.
That's right. Like as much as people are gonna roll their eyes, like I think her being in AEW kind of gave her a bump up because it kind of gave people an idea of who she was. Whereas I think Julia, as much as people pretended they knew who she was, they like because I feel like it's not everybody, but there is that select group of people where they only watch WWE and they don't watch anything else. And then as soon as it's like, oh, WWE signing this person, they're like, oh yeah, like this person is so good. Like I love this person. Like good for WWE, and like they've never watched one single match of that
No,
person. Do you know what I'm talking about?
they're just going off of the buzz that they looked up online. But it's like I know who Julia was because I watched some
Me too.
Stardom and some Joshi shit every now and then. So I've heard of her. But
Yeah, me too.
like I said, I've heard of Stephanie. I've never seen much of her matches, but I've heard the name before. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But
So I
everybody sits
guess
there and acts like, oh, y'all, we be out here watching AAA all day. We watch CMML like on a regular. And it's like, stop lying, bro. You don't.
yeah, exactly. Like they're like, oh, Julia's the biggest signing in the world, but y'all have never seen one single fucking Julia match.
Like, can you name a match from Julia? Could you name a Stephanie Vacour match that isn't versus Mercedes Monet? Like, can you name a
Exactly.
match? And I'm not gonna sit
So
there
I
and
get
say I can because I'm not. As I said, I'm not sitting there like Johnny Come Lately. I'm like, listen, I watch enough wrestling that there's a lot of cats out there that I've heard of, but I've not seen their body of work because there's so much wrestling to consume. I got so much wrestling to watch that yeah, I'm not gonna watch everybody's match, but I'll look into you. If I think you're worth talking about, I'll look into you. I'll check you out. Hell, that's how we find most of the wrestlers around here on CliqBait. We say, hey man, I seen this
Yeah.
dude. That's how your boy got put. Listen, that's how I kind of got put into GCW. It's because I got put on to fucking Effie. Now most people say, oh, Nick Gage. Nah, fuck Nick Gage. Effie, that's the man. He's endorsed.
I like Nick Gage.
I like Nick Gage too, but I'm saying that's not what got me into GCW though.
So I think the competing against Mercedes, I think it gave her a bump up in terms of like Julia was like a relative unknown. As much as people pretended they knew who she was, they really didn't. Whereas Stephanie, people at least they saw that one match from her against Mercedes, so at least they kind of knew what she was all about.
Plus, she's got a look to her. And again, we kind of talked about this on last week's show as far as like Blair Davenport and like Jamie Hayter. Like, as much as people don't want to say it out loud, looks matter. Looks do matter. And
Yep.
Stephanie
Yes, they
Valcour
do.
looks phenomenal. So, like, that's why it was like people just sit there and go, oh, WWE watched one match and signed her up. You goddamn right they did. They saw she had skill. They saw she had a look. That's all they needed. Like I said, her mic,
Mhm.
like even if her mic work is mid at best, that's 2 out of 3. That's 2 out of 3. You can work with 2 out of 3. And
Yeah,
now in the Papa Paul era, he almost don't give a fuck if you speak English or not. We'll just dub you.
yeah.
We'll just sub you. You feel me? So it's like, bro,
Mm.
she was already a winner. And like, listen, she got the look. Like I said, the body and the face. Like I said, total package. The skills are in the ring. It was a no brainer that they was gonna take it because, like I said, people don't want to talk about it, but it's the truth. Looks fucking matter. Like if you look at the women that's currently wrestling right now, out of Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, and what's her name, Karma Petrovich. Like I'm looking at these women and like, okay, Jada got the look. Kalani kind of got the look. She need a little work, and then Carmen definitely needs to work because she ain't got the look. Okay, she halfway there, but she might need a little treatment. She might need a little treatment, and I'm gonna call it like I see it. Like motherfuckers be out here stunting and trying to be PC about the shit, and then like I said, looks matter. And then in wrestling, you better look good, because if you don't, your ass is gonna be jobbing out, or you
Yeah.
just gonna get your future endeavors at some point. I mean, look at it like this. Like, they didn't even see much in Nikki Cross like that. They don't even consider Nikki Cross a looker to the point that they got to keep trying to put mask on her. And Nikki Cross is pretty, but
Does
but
she
but,
still
but she's
work
still
there, or
not to their standards.
did she get released, or is
No,
she still
she's
there?
still in
Like,
there. In fact, I think they're gonna be bringing the Wyatt Six to SmackDown now that they got Alexa Bliss, because she was kind of teasing
oh
that shit.
yeah,
So
she
yeah.
is part of that. Hey,
Yeah,
holy
and like I
shit!
said, but she's part of
Bro,
the
I
Wyatt
totally
Six. But once
forgot.
again, just like when she was almost a superhero, they'd rather put a mask on her or cover her face up because they don't think she's pretty. Which I'm like, she's fine. Yeah, she got a little bit of gummy. She a little gummy in the mouth, but the face is pretty. But they don't think she's pretty of those standards. So yeah, they cover her face up. They cover her face up, bro.
What do you think of Kalani Jordan?
What do you mean? As a looks?
Like, just in general. Like, I know people are
She's
kind of
got
high.
talent. She's got talent in the ring. She's competent enough that she seems to know what she's doing. Like I said, the look needs work, but she's still a rookie, so it has room to evolve. Not Bailey wasn't a hitter right out the gate. So you gotta.
Yeah.
So like I said, her look is fine. It's I've seen worse. Like I said, Karma Petrovich, her look is a little bit like, all right, clearly you're not a natural blonde, so maybe you need to go to your natural color. Nose, a little bit on the Levesque side. You might want to shave that down a bit, and your talents up top. You might need to enhance. You might need to get that Stratton, that Tiffany Stratton treatment. Like, here's a prime example: Fatal Attraction or Fatal Influence here. All right, Fallon Henley. Okay. What's her name? Jasmine Nix. Okay. But then you get to Jessie Jane, and it's like, yeah, there's a reason why she's still in NXT. Cause the grill ain't the looks to kill. Okay. I bet you if she shaved that nose down a taste, she be main event ready. But she ain't got the face ain't there. I'm just saying. Like I said, that's why she was one of the. That's why, like, when it came to when she was with Mandy and Gigi, she was the third wheel. She was literally the Janetti. Nah, not even. We'll go Freebird with it. She's the buddy. She the buddy. Like I said, Mandy and Gigi was fucking Michael and Terry. Over or Jessie Jane over here, she Buddy or Jimmy Jam. She Jimmy Jam. You know my friend Jimmy
Yeah.
Jam Garvin? She Jimmy Jam. You don't want to be the Jimmy Jam in the trio. You either want to be fucking, you want to be fucking Gordy or you want to be Hayes. You don't want to be Jimmy Jam. In fact, North American Thick Boys, if we were a trio, Jimmy would be the Jimmy Jam. See, because his name is already Jimmy. He'd be the Jimmy Jam.
Oh my god, it's perfect.
Yeah.
You like perfectly connected the dots.
Jimmy would be the Jimmy Jam. Clearly, I'm Michael Hayes because I got the mouth and the sass and the sex appeal. You gonna be fucking Bam Bam because you the Haas. And then, like, Jimmy's gonna be Jimmy Jam. It's perfect. It writes itself. Hey, now she's living the dream, sir. In WWE, she got the gold. Listen, it's only a matter of time. I would say give it a year that all of them are going to be in the main roster, at least by next year after. Because, like I said, the roster they have now and the main roster is, for the females at least, is pretty stacked to a degree. Like I said, the NXT women's side of things is just ridiculous. Sure, a lot of them still kind of green, not all well seasoned, but just the ones they do have, because you can clearly see that Roxanne's on her way up. Roxanne's on her way up. You know, if you didn't watch
I think
Raw
she's all.
well, they haven't
Yeah, I
officially
think.
made it official, but you might as well say she's damn well. Yeah, she got the promotion
Yeah.
because she's gonna be in She qualified last night on Raw to be in the women's elimination chamber match. She beat Raquel Rodriguez. Thanks to a little help from BGM 2.0. Buff Girl Magic coming out in their best Bring It On in person cosplay.
Yeah, that was kind of random.
Listen, it's one of those things that, and I felt like they were kind of dating themselves because I'm like, you really had to be in the know to know what they were dressed up as. Because if you didn't, you said, oh, they came out here looking like cheerleaders, which again, not bad. But once you if you realize, oh, they were dressed up like the cheerleaders from Bring It On, or Just Bring It, that they was ready to whoop somebody ass. They about to beat some bitches' asses. So you know. Oh, here comes Jordan Grace. Oh, Jordan over here cleaning house. They went picture in picture, and Julia came out during the picture in picture. Really?
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that was whack. So now, once again, we got Jordan in the ring, we got Stephanie, we got Julia. have a 6-woman. Oh man, we doing it like that tonight. Let's go.
There you go, wasting no time.
Listen, we all love lucha libre. Listen, I own a couple lucha libre masks. I love mask wrestlers. I love lucha libre. Zero Miedo, of course, all day, every day, twice on Sunday. I mean, how can you not love lucha libre? Unless your name is Microman, then fuck you, Microman.
Ah, poor Micro, man.
But the rest of lucha libre is muy bueno. No
He's just doing.
bueno, Microman, pa fuera. Pa fuera, Microman. Es no bueno.
He's just doing his best.
No eres gordita, poquito gordita, Microman. Es no bueno, Microman. Pa fuera. You can get out of here with that. Anything else? Okay. We love it all. We love it. We love Phoenix. We love Rey Mysterio. We love Pentagon. We love Mila Mascaras. We love them all. We love Atlantis, Commander. We love them all. Even the made up ones like Hologram. But Microman, fuck that guy.
A hologram's not made up.
I thought that was a AEW made up. They made their own luchador.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, but like he was a luchador like before.
Even the Axiom. He's a made up luchador.
Well, he is made up because he wasn't like a
he was
luchador.
A-Kid.
Like,
Oh, of course, La Parca, Psychosis, the Hoovy Juice, all of that, man. Listen, the 90s was the best time. Like, people always, like, that's the one thing about the Attitude Era that people lament, or not lament, but kind of omit from the rest of it, is like the Attitude Era wasn't just what was going on in WWE, but the landscape of wrestling itself during that time, that it was just bumping. Like I said, plus everything that was happening in WCW, but also what was going down in ECW, and also everything that was popping off in Mexico. And like I said, the influx of luchadors, Conan. Like I said, Conan was out there brokering them deals, just getting them out there. So I was like, yeah, the 90s was key for wrestling and just in general as a whole, because that's where if you didn't know then, that's when you just got exposed to everything. Especially, we're talking the infancy of the internet, so the information is just slowly getting drip feed to you. The tape trades, the everything, the online forums. Like I said, word of mouth, going to shows. Like I said, I went to a couple ECW shows. I went to a couple WWE events. And especially those ECW shows, you see a lot of the same dudes. See a lot of the same dudes in the crowd. You start to talking. Alright, we got women's tag here going on. We got Metaphor going up against Zahara and half black, half white girl, Soruka. You love Soruka. She celebrates Black History Month.
You know, Gojira, I met Ultimo Dragon once.
Yeah, Ultimo Dragon, all that shit. Like I said, mask wrestling, lucha libre, it is highly influential in the landscape of wrestling in a whole. If you be lying if you said it wasn't.
I once saw Ultimo Dragon at an independent show, and it was a 6-man tag. It was him, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson on a team.
Yeah, we love the Dark Order.
I don't remember who they were fighting. You know what? I think they were fighting Team Pazuzu. It was like them versus like Chris Dickinson, Jaka, and like somebody else, I think.
But moving on to the next match, like I said, we had new women's North American. We had a tag team match, Fraxium going up against Josh Briggs and what's old boy's name from Japan from Noah? I can't remember his name.
Yoshiki Inazuka.
Yeah. And again, it was a fine match. I mean, listen, Fraxium has been carrying the NXT tag division now for pretty much the year.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you think they're gonna lose it, man, they found a way.
Yep.
And plus, I didn't see Briggs and what's his name getting the title, but like I said, overall was still a good match, though.
It's kind of funny too, because it's kind of I remember when they started doing this like thing with Fraxium where they were almost teasing like they were gonna break up, but despite that they've still overcome all the challenges or all the odds, and they've continuously retained their titles despite kind of seemingly not being on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay, what's this trend? Like what's going on with these what's going on with this like new style of ring gear?
What are you talking?
Where it's like the underwear, for lack of a better term, like it's like the underwear, but then you got like the kind of like half pant legs.
I don't know. Like I said this before. Like it's a thing. Like you see a lot of the women will have the strap, like kind of thing around the thigh area, right underneath the butt cheek, and it's almost a thing to help accentuate, make their butts look bigger. Almost like it's almost like a kind of an illusion. Like it gives them the illusion of like they're wearing garters. You know what I'm saying? Them stockings.
Yeah.
It's very sexual. I don't know. You know me. I don't like the Zack Ryder one leg, long leg top tights. I never did. I didn't like it when Ruby Soho was wearing it, and I don't like it. Jada Parker was wearing that in the last match. She had the one leg, no leg thing going on, and it's like, no, woman, pick a thing, either all legs or no legs, but none of this in between shit. What the fuck you think this is, Zack Ryder? Think it's 2005?
Somebody's titty popped out.
What?
Like when the screen cuts to black like that, it's because
I'm on commercial though.
Oh, you on commercial? Oh,
Whose tit popped out?
My bad. I don't know. I think Jakara Jackson.
Oh, it's just a titty I wanted to see.
Like Lash Legend is what they wanted Jade Cargill to be, I think.
Hey, listen, that's why for every Hideo Itami, there's that Shinsuke Nakamura that'll come along.
And like they need to push Metaphor more, man. Like they need to push these two more. Like it should like fuck Liv Morgan and Raquel, man. Like it should be those two going for the titles.
You would think they keep bringing them to the main roster, and it's like they get over with the crowd. So it's like, why are y'all not there? It's like, again, it's one of those kind of things of like you have tag teams, and you're not using them properly, or you'll disband them, and it's like, just no, like have a tag division, dedicate time to tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like now these commercials are going on forever. Like it's like purposely doesn't want me to watch wrestling right now. and I'm getting the New York feed, so it's all the class stuff I'm used to, like New York trying to sell me
Okay.
gambling, and because they got a lot of lotto
Yeah,
scratchers.
speaking of Kenta, did you see that he left New Japan and now he's going back to Noah full time?
Yeah. Didn't he win championship over there in Noah recently?
Oh no, I don't know. Maybe he did.
I think he did.
I just saw like he was like because like I guess Bullet
Yeah,
Club kind
No
of
no Hogan's
imploded.
got with two names. Listen. New York City is just like any other city. The advertisement is gonna be, listen, Canada likes to sell party chat lines, Red Bull, and gambling. In New York, we don't sell phone gambling. We sell scratchers. You gotta go to the bodega and get you some scratchers because you got plenty of chances to win big money.
What's
See,
a
New
bodega?
York City Lotto, baby. New York Lotto. We get those kind of commercials in New York. You get those. You get your local news. You know what I'm saying?
But do you have commercials for phone sex?
No. We used to back in the day when the 900 number was popping, but not anymore. Now, I can't guarantee that the late night shit don't hit you with some of that, because, we gotta wait till children go to sleep. Can't be advertising that shit to children, because them little niggas will try to run up your phone bill. So they say that shit for after midnight, and you get all that paid programming, and every now and then they might hit you with some of that 900 sex line shit. They fuck around and get frisky. That's how it used to be.
Y-
I don't know how it is now, because I ain't been in New York in a minute, and the television's different now. Plus, I don't watch that much TV. Most of it's apps, and I get on a boat, nigga. So, ha ha. It be what
It
it
would be a
be,
lot
my
cooler.
mateys.
Be a lot cooler if you did have commercials for phone sex.
I mean, listen, I just think it's weird nowadays when, like, you still try to talk to a nigga on the phone. That might be a dude, son.
Oh, well,
Hell, back in the days, it might have been a dude. Listen, I don't know how y'all get down in Canada. Y'all love y'all. The fact that y'all still have chat lines is crazy. Last time I was on the chat line is 1999, nigga. We wasn't even in Y2K, son. We wasn't even in Y2K.
well, how else do you know about phone sex if they don't advertise it?
But motherfucker, that's what your pornographic material's for, man. We got the internet now. Like, bro, we have progressed
Yeah.
so much that the fact that if you're still doing that, like, wow, that's crazy game. You're gonna be like, you were matched with. Say hello. You were matched with. Say hello. You have a message from. Yo, don't act like if you lived long enough to know the party chat. Don't act like you ain't never heard those lines said to you before on the phone. Don't act like it's just me, nigga. I'm not that cool. I'm not that exclusive. Don't act like y'all wasn't over there going, hey, you're matched with. Say hello. I'm telling you, son. Y'all Canadians, man. It's that free healthcare, bro. Y'all are reckless. Y'all are reckless.
That's
Y'all
right.
think because y'all got free healthcare, y'all do whatever the fuck y'all want.
That's
No
right.
consequences. Drink your milk out of a bag. Watch the Degrassi. Mm.
Doesn't love Degrassi though.
I love the Degrassi.
Me too.
Love the Degrassi.
Whatever it takes, baby. Whatever it takes.
Listen, once you leave your home though, Arturo, you making all that money. Listen, I bet you them checks going back to Chile is looking real good for the fam. They're loving it now. So listen, she living her dream, and now they eating good. She gonna be eating good. She probably gonna get herself a place in Florida, cause tax free and all that good stuff. The Soul Snatcher. Soul Snatcher and Jakara. You know, I haven't said this out loud, but I'm gonna say it out loud now. Shakara Jackson is what Sasha Banks should be, looks wise. That makes sense?
Yeah, sure.
Like I
I
look at
like I
Shakara
said, I'm
Jackson and I'm like, that's a better version of Sasha Banks, looks wise. Better body. The face is about the same. Her hair ain't all over the place. The wrestling just got to get. The wrestling's almost equal playing field, almost. Word, son. You over there sipping a bag of milk. You got they put it in a container, guy, with two names, and then they pour it in glasses. Like they have a special device to facilitate their bags of milk. But I just don't know why they just didn't put it in the container in the first place. If you already have the container, why aren't y'all putting them in the containers? That's all I want to know. Like, what is the benefit of the bag other than the risk of cross contamination?
I mean, I don't know. I never really thought of it.
It's Ricky Starks.
Is
Absolutely.
it Ricky Starks though? Is it Ricky Starks?
They still haven't said his name.
They still haven't said his name. Uh-oh.
His name's gonna be Farnsworth Bentley.
Get get ready. Get ready for NXT's newest signing. Coming from all the way from New Orleans. It's Curtain Jerker McJob.
His name is gonna be Francois Bougat. All the way from New Orleans. It's Francois Bougat. Is gonna be they're gonna name him after a food. They're gonna do him like Dragon Ball Z style. His name's gonna be Eddie Touffet or Ed Touffet. I like that one, right? You like that?
Yeah.
You like Ed Touffet?
I don't know if I like it as much as Curtain Jerker McJob.
Curtin McJurkin, McJobjob?
Yeah. Curtain Jerker McJob.
Nah, Etouffee. Etouffee. Absolute etouffee.
Yeah,
Etouffee.
that's good. That's good.
Or you really want to be saucy with it. And you want to be like that French New Orleans, but you want to do it in a way. He gonna be absolute Aredu. Fromage. Fromage. He'll be cheese amoulette. Aredu fromage. Or absolute fromage.
I
Yeah,
was
see,
thinking,
Gojira sees it. Omelette du fromage.
yeah,
Absolute
omelette du fromage.
fromage. Omelette du. See, they need to put me on the team, son. They need to put me on the team. I'll be out here dropping the banger names for the wrestlers, kid. They're gonna love it. They're gonna love it. I'm already here banging out. Man, imagine seeing that on the t-shirt. Like, oh, fromage heads? Oh, fromage heads. Look at that. Tell me that's not printing money right there, man. Fromage heads? And
You
instead
you
of
might be onto
cheesehead,
something.
since we're not gonna be too on the nose, we're not gonna offer them cheese hats because Green Bay and all, but we'll make like curly haired Ricky Stark headpieces. So you get the fumage hair, so you can do the Starks pose, to do the fumage pose. And it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell like hotcakes. You thought those Zack Ryder wigs were selling? Wait till you get them fumage hair, kid. You gonna love it. Oh, the revolution will be televised, though. I'm saying it's gonna be great. You know what? If he just goes by Ricky, I'm okay with Ricky. Maybe he could be Pretty Ricky. He could be the next Tyler Breeze. Absolute Ricky. I like Absolute Ricky. We could be Absolute Ricky. I got no squabbles with Absolute Ricky. I just wanna see the Ricky Stark headpieces that the kids will be wearing in the stands doing the Absolute pose. Creole Rick. Creole Rick. Yeah, Ricky Jambalaya. Let's go. What you thinking over there, man? What you thinking? Creole
Um,
Ricky?
s- I s- I'm still stuck on Curtain Jerker McJob Job.
Curtain
I
jerk.
think
I
that's
mean,
it.
that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot to spit out, though. Well, here comes Ava. I still want to know how you go from being part of some culty faction to be like, hey, do you want to be our general manager now? Hey, you took off the mask. Do you want to be our? They're still not saying his name, son. I feel like they're just fucking trolling people right at this point.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna change his name. I think they just want you to think they're gonna change his name. So then it's like a bigger like pop when he finally says like when he finally says like Ricky Starks. It's like a bigger pop.
Ricky Bayou? It could be Ricky Bayou. I am Ricky Bayou. Guarantee. Let's see what Bayou Billy got to say. Or Jobber McJobberson. Jobber McJobberson. He's not. Why would you call him curtain jerker Jobber McJobber? He's not gonna be jerking no curtains. Come on, you already know. You being a little being a little dishonest, man. You know he ain't gonna be jerking curtains. He's
Ah,
going
come on, yeah,
straight
you
to the
will.
top of the mid card. You know that. Come on.
Straight to the top of the catering line.
Nah. He's going straight. Listen. He's gonna be like a
Right.
shot. Move over, Ashanti. Move over, Ashanti. Get out of my way, Ashanti.
Yeah. Yeah, move out of the way so I can get to the mashed potatoes.
Ego. What's Ego doing out here? What's Ethan doing
I
out
think-
here?
I think Ethan Page deserves to get the distinction and the award for having by far the worst entrance music in all of pro
You don't like
wrestling
Ethan
right now.
Page's entrance?
I do not.
You don't like Ego? You don't like that? Ego.
No.
You love it. You love it, man. Okay, come on.
Did they say his name yet?
No, I still haven't said his name.
Oh my god.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here come Javon. He bouncy, son. He bouncy.
Not Javon.
He bouncy. He bouncy. All right, we're gonna sign the contract and introduce ourselves finally. Let's go, Ricky.
Oh, here we go.
Here come Wesley.
Got the goat.
Wesley.
Real goat. He's not the young goat, because that belongs to somebody else, but it's a goat.
Getting all those. Get out of here. Little light skin. Oh, that was nice.
Oh, there you go.
Freaky Saints. Freaky Saints.
Wow. Come on.
Freaky Saints.
Oh.
Freaky Saints. Oh.
Wow. The downgrade will be televised.
Downgrade. The downgrade will be televised. Ricky Saints. Oh, oh boy.
Oh my god, is that a play, is that a play on, like, cuz he's from New Orleans?
I
Like
would
New
almost have
Orleans
to say
Saints?
so, Ricky Saints.
It's got to be like, it's got to be that.
Listen, Etouffee wasn't that far off, my nigga. Etouffee wasn't that far off. Oh,
Ricky Saints, get the fuck out of here.
oh my god.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
No Cat of Catch challenging the Hardys for a TNA tag title? Hardys coming to NXT? That's what it seems like. Hardy's coming to NXT over here.
That'd be cool. Wow, Ricky
I got a question
Saints,
for you.
what the
Are we
fuck?
gonna do anything with Shard and Spears in this whole situation? Are we gonna put a title on him finally?
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Again, it's like he's one of those guys where, like, people were so like outraged that they felt like AEW was doing nothing with him, and when he came back, everybody was like, oh yeah, like Sean Spears gotta be, he's gonna be like he's gonna be NXT champion in like the next 2 months. And then again, he's just another guy that, again, they really haven't done all that much with him. It's like the whole, like, it's like Andrade, the grass isn't always greener on the other side,
I'm like, can we at least put the North American on the dude or something? He got his
At the
own
very
he got
least.
his own little cult now. So what's going on?
At the very least, give him the Heritage Cup.
Not the Heritage Cup. How bad you gotta be? You can't win a Heritage Cup though.
I don't know, maybe we're saving it for Ricky Saints.
I can't even laugh because they might actually do that shit.
Yeah, they might. Oh my god.
Ricky Saints.
See, again, this is what I say. I feel like I say this every week. Don't don't y'all ever forget that. Don't you ever forget that Triple H is still a product of Vince McMahon. The old the old Vince ways are not totally done. Like, just because you got a group of people that didn't get name changes, don't ever mistake that for thinking that they don't be changing people's names anymore.
You know what? It could have been a thing because that is his real name, and maybe he didn't want to sell his name to WWE.
You know, yeah, it's very possible.
So it's like, I don't want you to buy Ricky Starks, so that way find yourself in that situation Cody was a few years back when he had to be just Cody, remember?
Yeah.
It could be that type of thing where it's like, you know what? I'd rather you just give me a new name than sit there and trademark my name to the point where I can't even use my own name in other places. So, you know what?
It's still funny though.
It is funny. But like I said, Etouffee wasn't that far off. I mean, could be Braden Walker.
Yeah, like it's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. It's not even that egregious, but it is a little funny.
So we got Stacks going up against Sean Spears here tonight.
It's just like I just I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that creative meeting where it's like, okay, like Ricky Stark's coming in. Like, what do we know about him? Oh, okay, well, we know he's from New Orleans. Oh, okay, he's from New Orleans. The Saints, they're 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 from New Orleans. Ricky Saints. All right, everybody, we got it. Let's knock off early. That's how the meeting went. Like like that. Like he was one bad idea away from being Ricky Crawfish or like Ricky Mardi Gras or something, you know?
Like I said, Etouffee, son.
Yeah. Uh,
Well, look here. Kevin Steen became Kevin Owens, and everybody's all fine with it.
it's not even that bad, but it's just, you know, it's just funny to it's just fun to poke. It's just fun to take the piss, you know, as they say.
Yeah.
Just, they just make fun of it a little bit, but realistically, like it's not even that bad.
I can't remember what the rumored name people said it was, but it sounded really ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would hope this storyline would lead to Sean Spears getting a North American title,
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
even for a little bit. Like the fact that they just keep using him as just like enhancement talent it's just sad.
He's like the Andrade. He's like the Andrade of NXT.
I kind of wish the Perfect 10 would come back. I miss the Perfect 10.
I like the perfect 10.
Welcome, Alex. Ricky Saints is a better name than Gunter. Uh,
100% agree. Listen, I don't care what anybody says, man. Like, I don't care. Like Pepperidge Farm remembers that Gunther going from Walter to Gunther is still the biggest downgrade in the history of professional wrestling. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how much y'all are gonna say, oh, like the name's kind of, he fits the name or it's grown on me by now. Going from Walter to Gunther is by far the biggest downgrade in the history of pro wrestling. Like, it's not
I
even
too
up for
miss
debate.
Walter.
It's not even up for debate.
I too miss Walter. I remember there was more to the Gunter name. There was some other parts, but then they cut it out, and we just went to Gunter. You remember what the rest of the name was?
Uh, no, I don't. I remember when he was Big Daddy Walter.
Big Daddy
See,
Walter.
like, that's how far I go back to to like watching the indies when I remember when he was like Big Daddy Walter.
What
And
about Big
what's
Van
his
Walter?
name? Yeah. And what's his name? His buddy, like what his buddy, like what's his buddy's name? Like Kaiser.
Uh huh.
Like I remember when he was part of a tag team called Hot and Spicy.
Well, we got Moose and Lexus King in the back.
Moose. What's going on with this dude's facial hair?
I don't know, man.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
It's definitely a choice.
You know what, Alex? I didn't think of that, but yeah, like now that you're saying it, yeah. Chase, you still works here? I thought he got released.
All right, so we got an X Division title match next week. Moose defending against Lexus King.
Well, I wonder who's gonna win that match.
Okay, I cannot accept Andre Chase wrestling in this attire, sir.
Hmm.
When he had the college uniform on, I allowed that, but this is now. We just look like somebody's dad. He about to job out to Eddie Thorpe and some Jordans? Wow. That's kind of sad.
I know it's like it's not gonna happen, but like in my own fantasy, I'm imagining this whole thing is just gonna lead to him like abandoning the Andre Chase thing, and I just want him to go back to being Harlem Bravado, and then I want them to sign Lancelot Bravado, and I just want the Bravado brothers in WWE. Like in my mind, like that's what this is leading to.
Unfortunately, that's probably not gonna happen.
No, I know it's not, but lots of things I dream about are not gonna happen, but you know, it's okay. You just gotta kind of move on. You just gotta accept it. Uh, is Fraxium the most overused makeshift tag team since Hell No? Yeah, probably. Since Hell No, I don't know, maybe the Bar. I would say maybe the Bar.
I mean, there's always been a period of time where one tag team has been like overused in WWE. Like, yeah, I just named two right there. I mean, let's not forget back in the days, Billy and Chuck.
What about arguably the greatest tag team of the early 2000s? Who can forget the masters that were Matt Hardy and Tatanka? That was a fucking weird tag team. Matt Hardy and Tatanka.
Hey man, let's not sleep on possibly the greatest tag team, future Hall of Famers, former tag team champions, Kenzo Suzuki and Rene Dupree. Come on.
Yes. Whoa, that was a time.
Like I said, former tag team champions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that was a thing. That was a thing. Kenzo. Who even remembers Kenzo Suzuki, son?
Oh, I'll never forget Kenzo Suzuki. Because I remember when he was first gonna come in and he was gonna be Hirohito, and like his gimmick was gonna be that he was like the ancestor of like the like I don't know if it was like the World War One general like Hirohito, like he was gonna be like his ancestor, and he's coming to WWE to take revenge, take his revenge against the United States, and he's gonna take his vengeance out on the superstars of the WWE in honor of his grandfather. Like fucking Google that fucking promo, like a vignette. Just go on YouTube and type in WWE Hirohito, and you'll fucking see what I'm talking about. Like it's fucking wild. And like they changed it. They changed it because Japan was like about to start a war. Japan was about to start a war over like, or like you can't be doing that WWE.
All right, here comes Tataka 2.0, Eddie Thorpe.
Utonka!
Tatanka. Yeah, let's fucking go. I like that. Tatanka. Let's fucking go. That's
Wow.
it. That's his new name.
That's it.
Forever, Eddie Thorne will forever be known here at Clickbait Wrestling as Two Tonka. Yo, Chutaka versus Andre Chase. Let's fucking go to Tonka. We got Tutanka in the chat. Let's go to Tonka.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, speaking of Tutanka, and let's kind of get back because we kind of didn't finish Vengeance. We had a strap match: Tutanka versus Trick Williams, and a shocking upset. Tutanka got the win.
Yeah. You know what?
I don't even think the
I was
crowd
kind
was
of
expecting that one either, because they were a little bit on the shock side that Tutanka won over there.
You know what though? Like I'm okay with it. Like I'm glad they're kind of pushing them a little bit.
I mean,
Plus,
you might as
like
well. I mean, you gotta
Trick.
push some of these people because it's like they're no good to you if they keep losing.
Yeah. Like plus Trick is at the point where he's probably gonna be out of. He's probably gonna be. He's probably gonna be like out of NXT soon. You know, like he's probably gonna be like main roster bound. So he's kind of at that point where it's like, yeah, okay, you know, like start putting people over on your way out.
Yeah, so Tutanka got to get that rub.
Tutanka. That's good. I'm glad he got the win.
Man, the amount of nicknames we be out here giving wrestlers on this show.
Yeah.
Listen, never forget Carmelo Staines and Shit Shoulders. Old Tricky
That's
Tricky
right.
over there.
You know, like it's easy to forget because he's so wildly over right now. But yeah, like you can never forget Shit Shoulders.
Man, we got the BGM, Buff Girl Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And now we got Tutanka.
That's right.
I love Tutanka. Tutanka sound is the best. Okay?
That's good, yeah.
That's called thinking on your feet, Matt, right there. Look at that. Coming in clutch with the Tutanka.
See, it's because you set me up for it because you said Tatanka 2.0 and then it just like instantly was like a bell that went off in my head. So like it's only because you set me up for it. It's called chemistry.
Yeah, these dudes were nothing but like jobber PC dudes who were just chase you extra students. I was like, okay, I guess there's still extra students.
Okay, so they trying to bring back Chase U?
I guess. I mean, other than that, what else is there to do with this guy?
Yeah. Would kind of be sad to see Chase U without Duke Hudson though.
Duke's gone. Where's Thea Hill at? She's kind of disappeared entirely.
Yeah, like we ain't even seen her in like a long time.
I mean, you still have a women's division. Is she not? And now, German from Tatanka. And an Impaler DDT. And Tatanka with the win.
There you go.
Kind of unimpressive finish there with the Impaler. Is that the finisher he's going with?
Oof. That's such a overused finisher.
There's just so
it's
many
so
people on
overused.
NXT with like a DDT like finisher. Like you got
Yeah.
Cora Jade. She's doing a double arm. Uh-oh. Trick Williams over here trying to get at Tutanka here.
Speaking of shit shoulders,
The man that carried the stain.
say his name and he appears.
Whoop that stink. Whoop that stink. We got a big old 6 whammon tag. What? The Toxic Influence about to do the job to the All-Star team coming up here. Oh. But yeah, the strap match was fine. Like I said, the finish was a little different, but hey, I'm not mad at anyone. Like I said, like you can't be keep just bringing all these people around just to like job out the Pacific dudes. It's not gonna
Yeah.
help them in the long run.
Like I said, especially when we know that, we know that when we know that Trick's time in NXT is gonna probably gonna come to an end sooner than later. Like he's probably one of those guys that shows up on like the Mania after Raw.
Yeah, definitely. Now here's the question though with Trick: if he returns, do they try to kind of redo the Trick Mello thing, or just go completely keep them separate? Because right now Mello ain't doing shit but eating L's. He needs some form of injection right now as well, because he is doing really nothing in the main roster. Yeah, he gets some play because he's on SmackDown, but like half the time he's just out there eating L's.
Yeah.
I would say you almost have to kind of put them together, because it's like Mello needs somebody to feed off of, and Trick's gonna need somebody just to like be new there. But it's just like Mello, like I said, man, Mello ain't doing shit though, other than just taking L's and looking real clownish out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, put them back together. They kind of mend some fences and they kind of get back into that. But it ain't in the same way where Trick's just gonna sit there and be fucking Mello's hype man and bitch boy. Like almost have them as equal partners. And hey, maybe even do a tag team thing with them for a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
And if you want to do babyface with them, you could. Or if you want to do heel with them, I don't know, go that route. It don't matter. But like I said, you got something's got to give for Mello over there, because like I said, at current state, they're like, man, your trajectory look like you about to catch a future endeavor if this shit keep going the way it looks, at least on TV. I mean, hey, I can say, hey, he's jobbing out a lot, but at least he's on TV jobbing out. But like, hey, so was fucking Giovanni Vinci. That don't mean nothing. So Sonya Deville was on TV steadily for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could do a whole program and then next week that shit come up missing, cause you don't work here no more. Hey, don't get that shit twisted. You ain't gotta be off TV to get that walking papers. You could have been in a whole program and still gotta get Das Boot.
That's right.
Don't
forget.
Let's not forget. Odyssey Jones was about to be that third member for the New Day.
Well,
Till he got
I was
Das
just
Boot.
gonna. I was just gonna say. Like, remember when it was supposed to be Mustafa Ali versus Dominic Mysterio for the North American title, and I think it was actually at Vengeance Day, and then they released him like 4 days before that pay per view.
Oh, would have been a tag team match.
I don't know what it is. Like, Ava kind of does it for me.
Uh-oh, the Hardys. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what make wrestling cool. Like I said, there are times in your life where wrestling can be shit all day, but then once in a while it gets cool. And the Hardys returning to NXT to WWE to go up against the No Quarter Catch crew, even though it's a non-title it's not for the TNA tag title.
Ah,
But like I said, we got Moose defending the X Division title against Lexus King coming next week. That's wild. Like, if you'd have told me
Trick
this like
knows
10 years ago, hell, 5 years ago, I'd be like, you're crazy, bro. You're crazy.
Trick knows exactly how shitty it can get.
What's that?
I said because you were saying like about getting shitty, and I'm like, like Trick, he knows all about that.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like I said, sometimes wrestling can be ridiculous. Sometimes wrestling can be unwatchable. Sometimes it can be just god awful. But then there's those moments where it's like, you know what? This is what it's all about. This is the as we like to say, this is the chocolate milk right here. Yeah, Hardy's come home. In fact, I don't like I said, this probably be like the first time they're in NXT. They've never been in NXT before.
Yeah, I don't believe they have been.
But this will be in a slight homecoming plus first time ever in NXT. So hey man, that's probably gonna be good for ratings. And now it's time for the main event. We got a 6-woman tag. We got Vakur coming to the ring. We got Jordan Grace with the bob cut. I don't know how I feel about the cut.
I don't
With
like
the
it.
with the bangs, with the big bangs in the front.
Yeah, it's not doing her any favors.
I think she needs to get rid of the bangs. Get rid of that. Get rid of
And she,
the bangs over the head.
and she a big girl, so it looks even worse.
Yeah, your hair before was fine. Just let it hang natural. No need for the bowl. And here comes Julia.
Every time I see that thing, like thing on her face or whatever, it makes me think of like aliens.
Isn't that kind of what it's supposed to kind of represent, or somewhat?
I don't know, maybe, but that's what
Because
it
I
makes
mean,
me think of.
it's got the chain tail also. I would
Yeah,
almost feel that's what it represents, unless it's something else. I would think okay, but maybe it is. Maybe it's one of those like deep cuts for alien fans. Like, hey, only if you know, you know. If you know, you know. But hey, who knows? I mean, I think this is pretty easy to know who's gonna win this match tonight because it sure shit ain't fatal influence.
Yeah. Yeah, let's be honest.
But after the strap, we had the men's NXT Championship match, Obfemi against A-Town Down Under. You know, clearly they didn't have anybody for the champ, so they just threw random jobber SmackDown team at him. And I
Yeah.
mean, it was a suitable match, but like I said, it kind of didn't really need to be. But like I
No,
said, we had
like
to, we had to
again,
get
like
we had to get the big man on the card though. So
obviously the title wasn't changing hands, but I guess like you said, it was what it was. Like they wanted to get him on the card, so I guess it served that purpose.
also, I forgot to mention that we had this the entrance of Retribution 2.0
Oh God, yeah.
coming in to beat up on Obafemi. It was that dude, that
It's
Dixon Lennon guy, and some other PC nobodies.
it's like it's like if Retribution and the Job Squad had a baby.
Hmm. What'd be a name for the Retribution Job Squad? Or hmm. We'll just stick with Retribution 2.0 right now.
I mean, it's not even the Job Squad, like
Like
because the Job Squad
they're not even, like I said, outside of the Dixon dude who's done like maybe a handful of matches on NXT. The rest are literally PC dudes. Like they haven't
yeah,
seen television, or if they have, it was probably that Level Up show that nobody fucking watches.
yeah, exactly.
Like name a match on Level Up, anybody? Don't out there sit there and pretend like you niggas is watching that show because nobody's watching Leveled Up. It's not even. There's no point to watch it. Like it's literally just. It's the darkest of matches. You don't even need to see it.
Exactly. That's why they got rid of it.
Oh yeah, and now we got the Evolve is the thing now coming.
Yeah, we got that like ID bullshit.
Yeah, they've been signing a couple indie people with that ID, like what's her name? Smiley Kylie. She got one.
Yeah. Hopefully she doesn't retire before her first WWE match.
Fingers crossed, right?
Yeah, she's like a fucking whack job.
I mean, listen, mental health is a serious thing, but hopefully she got it together, and maybe she could get something done in the ring. Who knows? This might be her chance. It might be her last chance, honestly. Like I
I don't
said,
know. Like
the way WWE is doing this system of where we're picking kids out of college like actual athletes, and then grooming them to just be wrestling the style of WWE.
yeah,
Like I said, they'll add their own little flavor to what they want to do based off of their athleticism, but we're gonna teach them how to take a bump and how to wrestle. And then every now and then we'll pluck a couple dudes from the indies who got some promise, can add a little flavor and some seasoning to these rookies because they have a little bit of ring awareness and experience. But at the end of the day, WWE is trying to keep it homegrown, so that way we own the look, the license, the rights, everything, the name. I'm saying? You become what we make you. You know who you are now. You're this now.
Watching like Fatal Influence is like breaking my heart right now.
Why is that?
Because it just makes me wish I was watching Toxic Attraction.
You know, I miss Toxic Attraction too. It was a good little
Oh my god,
faction.
every day, not a day goes by where I don't think about how great Toxic Attraction was. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about that. Bro, like Toxic Attraction like literally was the only thing that made the new class worth watching.
I agree. Listen,
And like
Mandy stepped her game up when she got rid of that
big
dead weight
time.
named Sonya Deville. And Gigi was a revelation, and you know JC, she was there.
Yeah.
She was there.
And like this is just like a worse version of that.
This is like when the
And
Nexus became the core.
it's like yeah, it's like store brand soda. Like you just make it just have you ever had like a store brand soda like
Yes I have, sir.
Walmart,
Yes, I've been to Walmart.
like
I have
like
the had the
Walmart brand,
I've had the Mountain Lightning.
and it just makes you wish you were actually drinking
I've
Mountain
had
Dew.
Dr. Thunder before. Okay.
Hmm.
But yeah, I definitely agree. Fatal Influence is off-brand Toxic Attraction. Mom, I want to go see Toxic Attraction. Let's go. I got tickets, son. Wait a minute. I said Toxic Attraction. This is Toxic Attraction. No, it's Fatal Influence. I
Yeah,
mean, Jason Jane's there. JC Jane. Nobody wants JC Jane.
yeah. The worst part, like the worst part of the group too. Like she was like the worst part.
And she branches off to a new
But
faction.
it's like at least Mandy and Gigi made her better. They made her look better. But now she's with worse people, and she's the best out of the three, which is really sad in its own way. It's just really sad.
It's crazy though, but it's kind of like in like
Bro, like
factions where when all the good players leave the faction and like the dude who was originally like the jobber guy of the faction is like, now you are the leader.
yeah,
And you run the faction, and it's like the faction's never the same when now the jobber guy is the main man.
it's kind of like once Jay White left Bullet Club and David Finley became like the new leader,
Yeah.
like that was like it's kind of like that where it's like, okay, like now we've reached the point where like now Bullet Club is kind of dead. Yeah, we've kind of
Yeah,
reached
it was
that
there.
point.
Once David Finley led the group, it was like this is as watered down. It's almost like taking Hulk blood or Super Soldier serum, and it's the most diluted formula because it's been passed down from generation to generation. So it's barely Hulk DNA anymore. You might get some powers. You won't turn into the Hulk, but you get a little bit of powers. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like we didn't have the original formula, so we had to kind of make this synthetic formula. So like it's kind of good, but not as good. Not as strong as the original recipe, but it still has the same bouquet and notes that the previous recipe had. So you get some a little familiarity, but not total familiarity. There's still that off taste at the end, though. You know what I mean?
mhm, yep.
So it's like you got that kind of thing going for it. She's like, especially like They had to change the name at that point. They was like, we're no longer really the Bullet Club. Now they know they was the War Dogs. In fact, isn't Gabe Kidd now the new leader, or is it still David?
Well, no, it's David, but now they're not. Now I think now they're not even in Bullet Club anymore.
So is Bullet Club just done now in New Japan? Because it's been a while. I haven't really paid that much
No,
attention.
so basically, House of Torture basically kicked the War Dogs out of Bullet Club, and now House of Torture is just gonna be Bullet Club. So now Evil is the leader of Bullet Club, which is a significant upgrade. David
Well,
Finlay, if you
wasn't
ask
wasn't
me.
Evil kind of a leader at one point when he did join? When he was world champion?
No, because he was kind of like he was leading House of Torture, which they were like part of Bullet Club, but they were kind of their own little subgroup. They were like a subsection of Bullet Club, but now they're the main Bullet Club now.
Well, the real question is,
So
where
now the War
is
Dogs are
the
out of now the
underboss?
War Dogs are
Where's the
out.
underboss?
I think he's just I don't think he really like I think he just comes in for like the odd appearance. I think now he just trains people. Like he's kind of seems like he'll maybe come in for like the Rambo, or he'll maybe do like World Tag League or something like that, but like
Yeah, but I mean,
he kind of
Fale
doesn't show up too
will
often.
keep it, make it official of like what is the like if Fale's there, then it's official. Like, okay, this is the standard of, or this is the new, what, this is the Bullet Club because Fale's there. He's the underboss.
Yeah.
And like I said, unless Fale ain't wrestling no more like that, but I would assume like if there's still a remnants of a Bullet Club, then Fale needs to show up to at least establish that this is the club, and then you go from there, and then he can go away. But like I said, if
Yeah.
I don't see no Fale, then I don't know, man. I would say almost if it's just House of Torture, then yeah, it's just House of Torture then.
Like I would have said maybe Kenta could be the new leader, but now he's not even in New Japan anymore.
Well, like I said, right now they don't have that many gaijins like that to kind of take the reins for Bullet Club like they used to.
Nope.
And like I said, I don't think anybody cared for David Finley and Gabe Kidd.
I mean, I like Gabe Kidd, but I was never on board. Like I was never on board with David Finley. Like Gabe Kidd should have been the leader, but it was just at the time like Gabe Kidd just kind of broke out. Like once he kind of beat Eddie Kingston, like he just kind of broke out.
Yeah.
But again, I was always of the mindset that like Kenta should have been the new leader before David Finley. Like I think it should always be like the biggest star, like whoever's the biggest name, or whoever's the most prominent name should be the leader. And I don't know, but again, it was kind of weird because it was kind of like Kenta was just always kind of just doing his own thing. Like he was part of Bullet Club, but like he never really fucked with them that much.
Yeah.
Like he's always just doing his own thing.
But since we got this women's six woman tag here, that was the main event. The main event we had a fatal four way for the NXT women's title.
Yeah,
Bailey, Roxanne, Julia, and Cora Jade.
that's
Which,
right.
I mean, it was a fine match. I think like Bailey was a little sloppy. Like she was off a step or two, to be honest.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
But like I said, for the most part, match was solid. At the end, Roxanne ate the L to Julia. Julia retained the title. Then we got Stephanie coming out. Both women holding the titles up. Steph kind of giving a glance at the NXT women's title, giving a look. And then the next thing we ended with Jordan Grace showing up and the three women standing in the ring looking at each other. And now they're in a 6-man, in a 6-woman tag together. So full circle. Overall, Vengeance Day was fine. It was middle of the road pay-per-view. Wasn't too special, but it wasn't like the matches were trash or anything. Solid matches across the board. Good show. What would you say? I would say 3.5 out of 5. I would give it.
Yeah.
I would say that's fair.
It was what it was. It was one of those shows where whoever you thought was gonna win, they won outside of the strap match. It was fine. It was like a solid 3, maybe a 3.5. Nothing special, but it wasn't like it didn't suck.
But then that brings us to our next show, which was AEW Grand Slam in Australia, which the time it came on wasn't pretty late, so it wasn't bad. I think when it started airing, when I watched it, was around 10 o'clock p.m. around there. So that's not too late. But decent show. Like I said, people had a lot of words to talk about the size of the ring, and yeah, sure, it was a little off-putting. But again, they did have to swap venues because they were originally scheduled to be in a bigger venue, but then they dropped it down to a smaller size. Which, presentation-wise, it looked like a packed house. I don't know if they sold out or anything, but the crowd looked good. They were enjoying the show, so that's always a good thing, especially from a television viewing. The crowd's hot, they're into it. We started the match with Omega with God and Jesus taking on Takeshita and the Proto Star, Kyle Fletcher. And yeah, I would say this is probably the match of the night. Close second might be the Okada Buddy match.
That opening match was they started the show strong, and I think it's one of those things where it's follow that, and I kind of almost think nobody did. That was a good match, man. But again, look at the combination. You got Osprey and you got Kenny Omega. That tells you all you need to know right there. But then when you throw in Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher, it was good. It was good. I like the finish. I like the combination of the one-winged angel switchblade combo move.
Son, they hit him with the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, son.
Yeah.
He hit him with the hidden blade / one-winged angel combo. Come on now, you can't ask for more right there. Jordan Grace got the win over Jasmine Nix with the Grace Driver, and the Retribution dudes just beat up on. Did they beat up Robert Stone?
Yeah.
Oh, not Robert Stone.
It's as soon as as soon as you cut to the NXT parking lot, you already know what it is. You already know someone got beat up.
Tony got booed out of Australia. Who you talking about? Tony Khan?
Yeah, I guess he was cutting he was cutting a promo and like they were booing him.
Oh, see,
Not really cutting a
I didn't
promo.
see that, so I wouldn't know.
Like it wasn't on the show. It was just somebody recorded it, or he was out there addressing the crowd and they were just kind of booing him.
Mm.
But like that to me is whatever. Like it really had no bearing on the show, so that's kind of irrelevant.
I think
to
the
me.
only hindrance was kind of the ring, because you could tell like a lot of, especially in that first match, adjustments had to be made for certain things, like where it's like, okay, Mega doesn't move to Fletcher, and then like Fletcher has to like literally kind of roll out the ring to continue to sell because there's no room to sell in the ring from where the spot took place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just kind of like, that's like when you gotta make those kind of adjustments, and you can see it like certain through at first I didn't really notice it until like I noticed the steps of them to the ring, and I'm like, why are the steps so little? And then I'm like, why's the wrestling post look so plain? And then like when they did to the wide shot again, I'm like, this like I guess the perception from the view, because the crowd looks so good, like being full, you don't think about the ring being small until you see all four men standing in it and how close together they are, even though they're on
Yeah.
opposite sides of the ring. And it's like, oh, this ring kind of small. It's this ring kind of small. Wait a minute. Like you don't really think about it at first, but like it took me a minute to kind of process, because I wasn't like I don't inherently start looking at the ring like that, and because like you're used to just rings just kind of being big. Even for companies that use smaller rings, they still use a proportionate sized ring where like if one man stands on a corner and the other man stands on the other corner, there is a sizable distance between them. But like in this ring, you can see like there is no real distance between them.
You
So
know, like it was what it
yeah, like
was.
I mean,
Like it.
like I said, I'm not even saying this like to be like, oh, I'm making fun of AEW or criticizing. I'm just saying, like, if you forgot the ring, that's kind of wild. That is a little bush league, especially with all the money that you got. That we don't have a backup, or at least could have found a company with a bigger ring. Like even Omega's
See,
not
like
getting
I
the little rings.
see, like I heard it was like a cost cutting measure.
Cost cutting.
Like it was just yeah, like it was just they didn't want to like I heard it was a thing where like it was gonna be too expensive for them to bring the ring all the way to Australia. So it was just like it was just more convenient to just like, well, let's just get a ring that's already there. But then when it showed up, they didn't realize how small it was gonna be. Then they were just like, oh well, we gotta. It is what it is now.
I mean, that's kind of crazy when you be dealing with Jaguar money, actual Jacksonville Jaguar money. We playing
Yeah,
cheapskate. We kind of playing cheapskate.
I don't know.
That's kind of crazy.
Like I don't know if that's what it is. Like I don't know if that's what it is. That's just what I had heard. I heard it was just a thing where it was like they didn't want to pay to bring the ring over, and then Kyle Fletcher was like, "Don't worry, like I have a buddy, like I'll take care of it." And then the ring showed up, and then they realized it was too small, and then they're like, "Oh fuck! Oh well, this is what are we gonna do now? Like the ring's here, it's set up." It was noticeably small. Like unfortunately, like it was noticeably
Yeah,
small.
they may. I
I don't
mean,
think
like I
it
said,
took
to the
away.
credit of the wrestlers, they may do and got shit done. Like I said, it didn't hinder the quality of the match. It's just certain things is different, definitely noticeable about it, because the ring is
Yeah.
slightly smaller than what you would normally see in an AEW show, or like I said, for that matter, most wrestling shows.
Yeah.
But like I said, a lot of people was out there doing the usual tribalism of like this is, and I'm just saying like me, I'm on that side of like kind of 50-50. Like I said, do I feel like I said, if it is true that we're sitting there cutting costs, That's crazy. With the money backing you, that's crazy that you would say we gonna cut costs on the ring. The ring. That's crazy. But hey, listen, not my wrestling company. So, like I said, to me the match was still good. I had no beefs with it. Um, the host title match, Mercedes Moné, Harley Cameron, was fine. Like I said, Harley Cameron is still learning. She's still on the job training over here. I think they kind of was relying on her being goofy, but like if you want her to be taken seriously, like we got to ditch some of the goof, or you're just gonna end up a Santino Morella. Like I said, the puppet thing's funny, but it's like, all right, get rid of the puppet and let's get serious. If you want people to take you
What
seriously,
I
at least
think
as a wrestler. Like we know you're
I
we know
like,
you're a good entertainer, but now I need to see you be a
yeah,
good wrestler.
like when I like when she did that promo, like when she had like Mini Money, like singing her theme song, like like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And then she just cuts, and then she starts talking like like she's like like you're right, like I'm just learning how to wrestle, but she's like I'm learning. She's like there was a time I didn't know how to play guitar, but I learned, and she's like there was a time I didn't know how to speak Chinese, and then she fucking starts speaking Chinese, and you're like what the fuck? Listen, I've been kind of we've been kind of talking about Harley Cameron. We've been kind of out here for months saying that Harley Cameron is like a it's like a diamond, and I'm just happy that the rest of the world is kind
I
of
mean,
seeing
like I said,
we
she's
what we've been
entertaining.
saying for the
She's
last six
entertaining.
months.
She's got a look. Like I said, presentation is everything. She's got the
Like
package. The only thing she's missing right now, especially in the profession she chooses, she needs to get good in some of that wrestling. You know what I'm
like I know
saying?
I know people I know people really wanted her to beat Mercedes. Like, I just think that was never gonna happen. Like that would have made no sense.
Oh,
Like even though I know people really wanted her to beat Mercedes, but you're not gonna have somebody that's one match one match in their career, and then she's gonna beat the top of the women's division. Like it's just not gonna happen. But
I mean, technically, she has
it's,
won more than one match because she's won matches in Ring of Honor. But I guess we don't talk about
yeah,
those. But she's won
yeah, we don't talk
matches.
about
It's
those.
just a thing of, like I said, she's only been in the business for like 3 years now.
Yeah,
So like she's literally just sitting on a plate with salt and pepper. Like she's not even well seasoned. She's just seasoned. She's just getting seasoned. You know what I'm saying? She's still but she's still raw. Still raw.
mhm,
So, like I said, Monet made her look as good as she can. The
that's
match
right.
was
Like I
was
said, I,
fine. I
I
think
say
that,
it.
like I said, the finisher, her finisher is shit. She needs a better finisher because that shit is garbage, and everybody's selling it like trash because nobody wants to take a flat bump.
She should just stick with the bank statement.
She really should because the payday or whatever fuck is called. Like I said, the execution looks like janky, and because none of the women want to fucking sell a flat fucking bump, everybody's doing the cane and just kneeing it, and it just looks horrible at the end because they're just all landing on their fucking knees. Like I said, now one female yet I've seen take that shit like flat, fat belly, like straight to the mat. Everybody's landing on their fucking knees. Ain't nobody trying to take that shit on the tit.
Uh, but
So it's like I
it
was
was
like
good.
find a better finisher that looks like it's effective because the way these women are selling it, shit looks even less effective. Like it really does. Like people
It
forget
does.
the part of the finisher is not just the dude who's doing the finisher, but the person who's taking the finisher got to sell this shit like it means something. And when motherfuckers are all just bracing themselves to take the impact, it can look janky. That's why like certain pedigrees used to look really good, and some pedigrees looked real fucking janky because the dude who took it didn't want to fucking commit. Like you look at the best pedigree you gonna get from Triple H is if he's doing that shit to Cactus Jack, to Mick fucking Foley, because Mick Foley will take the flat ass bump. He ain't dropping no knees. He ain't putting his hands down. He taking that shit all to the chest. Flat fucking bump. To make that shit look more devastating. Everybody else landing on their hands. Kane used to just sit there and take everything to the knee. And it just makes it look less effective. It's like, nah, you guys, sometimes you gotta eat that flat bump. Just eat that flat bump. That shit looks way better, but everybody's taking her finisher. They all taking a knee. And it looks very ineffective. And like, how are you even out of that? You didn't even look like you hit the floor that hard because you took all knees.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. But yeah, she retained. Then she kind of postured to some Japanese wrestler with the Rev Pro title. So I'm gonna take it that's gonna be one of her challenges for the Rev Pro women's title.
Oh, Momo Watanabe.
That's the one.
So she won that match at Wrestle Dynasty. So yeah, so she's got a women's title match of her choosing.
Mm.
So she could theoretically go for any one of Mercedes' titles.
Even the host title.
Mm-hmm. She could go after the women's champion if she wants. She could go after anybody.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right, cool. What other matches we had on this?
We had Cope and Jay White versus Mox and Claudio.
The Brisbane Brawl, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also another decent match. Like it's your typical it's your typical just hardcore match. They fought all over the place. Cope's over there jumping off shit. Probably shouldn't be doing that after just had a broken tibia, but
It's like
more power to
fuck,
you, bro.
It's like fuck. Like he just got back from a broken leg from jumping off a cage, and he's like, I wonder if I could jump off of anything else.
I'm indestructible now.
Yeah. Like, oh, they just repaired my leg. I can't break it again.
Like they can't strike twice in
like,
the same place, right?
like you know what I mean? Like, it's like you never know. It's like, remember when Chris Sabin tore his ACL, and then he was out for like 9 months or whatever it was, and then he comes back, and then his first match back is an Ultimate X, and then he does a high spot and tears his other ACL, like in his first match back. So it's like that shit happens. Like you gotta take it easy, my guy. Like again, it's like the same thing with Sting. It's like you're at a point where like you don't need to be jumping off of things. Like you don't need to be doing that. Like just do the same old shit and people are happy. Like you don't need to be jumping off of shit. Like leave that to the young guys. Like leave that to the young guys. They can afford to take a couple years off your career. Not you. You don't have that many years left.
Yeah. But like I said,
But it
good
was a good
match.
match.
We ended it with Mox choking Cope out with a bulldog choke.
Which I kind of like that. I kind of like that finish because it keeps your champion looking strong. It makes your champion look strong going into a world title match. So now when you go into the world title match, you know that Mox could beat Cope, but we still don't know if Cope has what it takes to beat Mox. So I kind of like that.
The crowd did not care for that finish. They did not care for that finish. They chanted the bullshit all throughout the arena. And I mean, I don't know if it's justified to be, because it's like, it's almost guaranteed that there's a good chance your man Cope's gonna win the title if he's losing here tonight.
But it's the thing. What could they have done? What
I
else could
mean,
they
you
have
had
done?
Claudio
If
there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if Claudio would have took the L, then people would have been complaining, "Oh, Claudio taking another L. Go figure. Claudio takes the L again." Or if Jay White takes the L, like, "Oh wow, like Jay White takes the L. Way to go, AEW. Bury the next generation." And if Mox takes the L, it's like, "Oh, way to keep your champion looking strong. Have your champion taking L's." Like, any option they would have done, people would have complained about it. There's nothing they could have done where people would not have complained. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're right about that. Damned if you do,
So
damned if you
like there's
don't. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because any of those four guys, people would have been outraged. So I think they went with the decision. Like, you have the champ looking strong, and then it makes Cope look like more of an underdog going into that world title match, which I think is a good position for him. It makes him look like more of an underdog. Like, man, maybe Cope just is past his prime. Like, maybe he's just not at that championship level anymore. Like, maybe he just is past his prime.
Yeah, well, we'll
So
find out soon.
I think
We'll
it's a
find out
good.
soon at
Yeah.
Revolution. So,
Yeah, I think it's a good. I think it was a good move.
and then match
Plus,
that.
again, you can't have Jay White. You can't have Jay White taking L's. Like, he took the L at the last pay per view. He took the L. Like, you can't have him taking another L here. You know.
Oh, absolutely not. No, 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 no. Only crazy thing is, like, what don't make no sense is, like, the Death Riders are always gonna have the numbers advantage. Why wasn't FTR or the Guns there to back up their guys? You know what I mean?
Maybe I wonder if they're kind of saving that for maybe that'll be something that happens at the pay per view where maybe the Bang Bang Gang will come out and get involved, and they'll flip the numbers on the Death Riders, and then let's say Cope wins the title, then you already have a feud set up, because then you could have Jay White being like, like, hey, like, don't forget, like, the Bang Bang Gang were the ones that came out, and like, we even the score, or we brought the numbers so that they couldn't overwhelm you, because we brought the numbers. Like, now, like, I should be first in line for a title shot.
Yeah. Although the Guns
I don't
did
know,
just
just something to
recently
think
get their
about.
asses handed to them by the Hurt Syndicate, so.
Yeah, that sucks.
So we hurt people. We hurt
That sucks.
people. Yeah, that does. But hey, man, it is what it is. Hurt Syndicate, they're kind of hot right now, so. We hurt people. But like I said, moving to the match that I think is like the second best match of the night, and that was Okada versus Buddy Matthews for the Continental Championship. Now, unfortunately, Matthews kind of twisted the ankle before the match kind of got started, but still powered through. Didn't
Yeah.
miss a beat. But at the end of it, Okada still the man, still the rainmaker, still the champion.
Again, like a good match. Like, I think Malachi being gone is almost a bit of a blessing in disguise, because I hope that now Brody King and Buddy Matthews, like, they need to stand on their own now. They can't be living in Malachi's shadow anymore.
Yeah, I feel you.
and this is kind of like now, like, like it was a good opportunity for Buddy to kind of remind people what he's capable of. Again, like obviously he wasn't gonna win, but still a big match for him, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And then that brings us to our main event for the AEW Women's World Championship. The Glamour of Mariah May and Timeless Tony Storm. Good match. I know a lot of people didn't care for the finish, but I think Tony Storm herself was trying to be very like meta, because if you paid attention to quote unquote Tony Storm, rookie Tony Storm
Yeah,
mastered the small package.
yeah,
All of her wins was by small package. So her beating her, catching her off guard with a small package is kind of apropos, because she's been doing that as a finisher since she did the whole rookie Tony gimmick.
yeah,
But it's one of those things that if you wasn't paying attention to it, you would miss it. Cause like just to see it off without the context of she just won by that goofy roll up, and it's like, yeah, but technically she was out here mastering the roll up. she gave her the ultimate roll up. All right, she's been practicing that shit for weeks.
yeah,
So yeah. But she won, new champion. She's the first ever 4-time AEW Women's Champion. But I'm hoping that we're gonna have to have the third match. Hopefully they'll do it at Revolution, and then we move on, because like I said, this Tony Mariah angle has dominated the good part of like 2 years, and it's time for some new blood to get up in that women's top division and for the title.
yeah, big time.
But we gotta end this Mariah Tony thing. Like I said, it's been entertaining, and they've told the story. But while you've been telling this story, like I said, a lot of women just have to sit on the bench and wait for their turn. If they're not getting fucking dusted out by fucking Monet for the host title, it's like, what are they gonna do? Because y'all been, this title's been tied up in this one storyline for a better part of 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like I said, hopefully after this, like I said, you would think the rubber match would have to happen. I would hope they do it sooner than later and not try to drag it out any further. So like I said, Revolution, have the blow off match there. That way, whoever walks away with the title, y'all can move on to a new challenger. Move on to
yeah,
something else. Like I said, let some of the other women on your roster get a turn. But I would say AEW Grand Slam. For everything else, I would say the show was good. Slightly better than Vengeance Day. So if I gave Vengeance Day a 3.5, I'm gonna give Grand Slam a 4 out of 5.
yeah, yeah. I'm kind of right there with you.
Slightly better than it. Like I said, I think some of the finishes were like, but like I said, the crowd was hot. The crowd, they expressed what they liked. They expressed what they didn't like. Cause even like the Tony Storm thing, they kind of gave a little bullshit on that as well. Like they were very critical on shit up in there that night.
Yeah,
Now I know they did some Ring of Honor stuff. I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet. I don't think it's aired yet.
no, yeah, me neither. I haven't watched
But
the Ring of
'cause I
Honor
know they
show.
had a couple matches lined up. We'll probably talk about it like next week or something. So, but other than
Yeah,
that, it was good. Like I mean, Raw last night was, I guess, fine. Like I said, Roxanne qualified to take the last spot for the Elimination Chamber. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, like they put on your standard good match. I'm tired of seeing them, and I'm kind of tired of seeing Finn Balor always get the short end of the stick on this deal. It's like shit. Finn Balor beat this dude one time for the Universal title and has never beaten him since.
Yeah.
Like, let that sink in. Dude beat him one time for the Universal title. Couldn't even keep the belt because he got injured, and is yet to beat Seth Rollins ever since. Just L
It's
after
like now
L
he
after
has
L.
to. Now he has to do like unlimited jobs.
Mm-hmm. But we're the chamber is full for the men. We got Rollins, we've got Cena, we've got Logan Paul, we've got McIntyre, we've got shit. Who am I missing? What did I say? McIntyre, CM Punk, John
John
Cena,
Cena, Logan Paul,
Logan Paul.
Seth, and
AJ Styles?
no, it's oh wow, I'm like drawing like a total blank.
Damian Priest.
There you go. Yep,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep,
Damian
you're right.
Priest, CM Punk, John Cena, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Seth freaking Rollins. So yeah, that's the 6 lineup. And Seth, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you coming.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, technically you're not wrong. You know, Finn Balor had to harness the power of the demon to beat Seth, but now that he's a heel, he doesn't do the demon anymore, which means he'll never beat Seth Rollins again.
Demon aside, for the most part, to my recollection, any other time that Seth and Finn have met in some form of match, they'll remind you that these two men fought for the Universal title and Finn won, but every time, fucking Finn takes the L.
Yeah.
Finn takes that L. And it's sad to see. But yeah, and then we had Ivy Nile taking on Dakota Kai. Winner would get a shot at the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Whatever match, but Dakota Kai walked away with the victory, so she'll be getting another shot at IC Championship, which leads me to believe that either, I don't know, because is Dakota kind of babyface now?
I don't know.
Because it makes me feel like maybe Valkyria might go heel. Because I think it's about that time. Somebody got to somebody in the women's division got to make a heel turn. There's too many baby faces running around there.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense because like I said, you got Rhea, she baby, Io went baby. So if Io went baby, then that means Dakota went baby. And then you got like Maxine, who she ain't doing shit. So yeah, and then you got what? Ivy now, who's heel. Who else? What other women on the fucking Raw roster? Oh, Liv Morgan and Mid Morgan and Raquel, they're heel. And I think that might be the gist of it. So it's like, yeah, you gotta add some more heels. So yeah, throw fucking Lyra's ass in there.
Yeah.
And what was the other match that they had on Raw? Because like I said, we only had 4 matches because that's what you get on Raw now is 4 matches. So we had that match. There was the 2 matches for the elimination, and there was one more. I can't remember what it was.
Wasn't it Penta and Pete Dunne?
Yeah, it was Penta and Pete Dunne. Thank you. And yeah, that was a fine match. It's Pete Dunne, it's Penta. And then the rest was all, we had the Sammy promo. We had the Gunther Jay segments. like I said, Raw is literally now just a glamour show on Netflix. Because, like I said, all half the time they're just promoting something or something, some celebrity on a Netflix show is just so happens to be sitting in the audience type situations. It's just like this is just a big promotional ad. You'll get a little bit of wrestling, but the rest is all just promotional ad. Like I said, if you want some actual like wrestling show, you kind of have to really watch SmackDown now.
Yeah.
Even though, yeah, SmackDown is now a 3-hour show. But, you know. And hey, if you was here for CliqBait not CliqBait, Spaghetti and Friends on Friday, we were talking about it. Charlotte Flair picked Tiffany Stratton for WrestleMania, which is kind of lame. But I guess it is what it is.
Yawn.
Yeah, yawn indeed. Especially,
Listen,
I
y'all.
thought, man, the prospect of her and Rhea again was like, actually, I wanted to see it. Wanted to see it.
Listen, y'all that wanted Charlotte to pick Tiffany when we were kind of like Charlotte and Rhea makes more sense, and y'all were out here saying like Charlotte and Tiffany is better. Y'all better stock up on Kleenex, because y'all gonna be crying your little tears when Charlotte beats the piss out of Tiffany at WrestleMania. Because if you think Charlotte's doing the fucking job, like you're fucking crazy.
Yeah. She about to bow down. She about to bow down.
Yeah, like if you think Charlotte's about to come out here and put Tiffany over, like you're fucking out of your mind.
Yeah, not happening. But overall, like I said, Raw is Raw. At this point,
It's
you
Raw.
kind of got to get used to it now. The Netflix era is what it is. They've kind of established what it is. So I can't sit here and be like, I can't believe this is the show. Nah, this is the show now.
Yeah,
You
like
get 4 matches in the span of 2.5 hours.
at a certain point, you just have to understand what it's gonna be going into it.
You're gonna get your obligatory promos to set up feuds for other PLEs, and you're gonna get about 4 matches in the span of 2.5 hours. That's Monday Night Raw in a nutshell now. Like, you're gonna get no more, no less. Unless they feel like there's a reason to go longer, they will, but that's probably gonna be for like special occasions. But for the most part, this is what Monday Night Raw is now. So
Yep.
I can't even sit here and be mad about it. Like, hey, it is what it is. It's a glamour show. Like I said, if I really want to watch wrestling from WWE, I can watch NXT, I can watch SmackDown. You're going to get your bulk of the wrestling on those 2 shows. It's just what it is now. Like I said, NXT has their system, SmackDown has their system. Like, WWE's got this shit planned out to a science on how much wrestling you consume from them on a given show. Like I said, Raw give you 4. NXT will give you about, 5? Maybe 4? They'll probably get like 5 to 6 matches. And then SmackDown will give you about the same. You'll probably get about 6 to 7 matches in a 3-hour span of SmackDown. So, and then your pay-per-views, you know how that works. You get 5, motherfucker. You get 5.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm curious to see I'm curious to see what we do for Mania, because we got 2 nights, and I know Mania usually runs long, so it's like, I know y'all not gonna sit here and just drop motherfuckers with a 5-card nights. Like, I know y'all not gonna sit here and do 5-card nights for WrestleMania.
That's what they did last year.
Did they?
Yeah.
No shit. I guess it's already. I guess the plan was already in play. I didn't even realize it, huh?
Like, I think there was only like let's see, let me fact check. Let me make sure that I'm not tripping.
Yeah, I could have sworn it's more than 5 for both nights because we had what the tag match with Roman and Rock, Cody and Seth.
Okay, yeah. Okay, you know what? Yeah. I am tripping. I am tripping. So you had 7 matches. You had 7 matches on each night.
Yeah, it's gotta be more matches because it's Mania. It's Mania.
But even that, even 7 matches for one night of Mania is not enough. Like it's WrestleMania, you gotta have at least 8 to 9 matches per night.
I mean, hell, that's how it used to be. That's how it used to be.
That's how it's gotta, yeah.
Especially within
Like
a
this
four,
is ma-
and they packed that all into a 4-hour show, not including
es-
not including the pre-show.
especially now, because if you remember last year, the tag titles were still unified. So now this year you got 2 separate tag titles, and you have 2 women's mid card titles. Like this WrestleMania, like every champion needs to be on the line. Every championship needs to be on the line. So like Lyra and Chelsea, like they need to be defending at Mania.
Yeah, like one gets one night. Like for the, this is where like I've said in the past, like where you can literally do brand Pacific nights for each show. Like one night with all the titles is Raws, the others is SmackDown. So like I said,
Hmm.
the tag titles get defended, the IC women and men get defended, and then the world and women and worlds title get defended. That's all the major titles. And if you want to throw in the WWE Women's Tag, you could pick either night for that because it goes between both shows. So that one's like a gimme. And then the next night you do the other titles on the other show, the U.S.
Hmm.
titles, the WWE titles, and their WWE Tag. And like I said, if you wanted to draw the bonus of the women's tag, you could. And whatever didn't go, whatever show the tag women's tag is on, you'll have a supplemental match for for that the other card. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The grudge match or the whatever the gimmick match, whatever match. But it's like all the titles should be defended at Mania. Cause I'm thinking about it now, and it's like, how would you even do your paper? I don't even think they. I think they got rid of it just because they know they kind of can't. But how would you do Night of Champions anymore? That's gonna be a
Um.
pretty long show if every title was actually defended.
Yeah. Like I don't know if they do that pay-per-view anymore.
You almost can't. Not on the system they're at now. You can't.
Or maybe they'll just pick what titles they want. Maybe they'll just pick what titles they want on the line.
That would have to be the way to go about it because there's no other way to do it where every major title is gonna get defended on that one night. That's why you might as well
You-
consider WrestleMania the new night of champions and have every title defended on both nights.
Okay, so the last night of Champions was in 2023, but it was a Saudi show. So it had a little couple extra lip matches.
Like you figure, like I said, each brand has 5 championships. And if you think about it, if you really fucking think about it, that fits your fucking your model right now. You have 5. You do 5 matches. You have 5 champions. It's WrestleMania. All 5 of those titles should be defended at fucking Mania. And you got 2 nights to do it,
Hmm.
and you got 5 more titles on another brand. And like I said, the only outlier is the women's tag. And you could do either show for that and do a bonus match on the second night. So you could just pick and choose where that title goes. So everybody gets on the
Hmm.
fucking card. Every title gets defended and treated like a big deal at the biggest show of them all.
Yep.
It's like, come on, man. Yeah. This gives not only the championship prestige, it gives the people holding the belt a little more prestige. And like I said, you're doing it on your biggest night. This should be the night of champions. WrestleMania should be your night of champions. Plus, because every title is defended at Mania, and because Mania is kind of the reset for WWE for most parts, the reset's automatic for everything because you've either changed the title holders or the title holders continue to go on to the next season. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know after Mania, it's the reset. We start anew. We're now cooking to get to next year's Mania. After Mania, that's how it works. Once Mania is over, we're now cooking to see, okay, what do we do to get us to next year's Mania? We gotta start anew.
Yeah.
So it's like starting anew for everybody would start from who is the champion coming out of Mania. Did we crown a new champion? Did the champion retain? Do they continue to run? You know what I'm saying? And you go from there. But like I said, we gotta have the titles at Mania. All the titles gotta get defended at Mania.
Did you shoot that one early?
I'm rambling. I'm talking in circles.
No, but everything you're saying is right though. Like to me, like, you know, like I've said it time and time again. Like I've said I don't like the shorter pay-per-views, but to me, like, especially like WrestleMania. Like, yeah, like WrestleMania, you gotta have all the titles defended.
Especially since we don't have a champion anymore.
Like WrestleMania is the one night it's the one night of the year where it's like the titles need to be on the line. Like it's the one night over any other night.
I do agree with you there, because if you're not gonna do it then when do you do it?
Yeah.
But I think we're reaching that time where we're gonna call it for the night, ladies and gentlemen. We talked enough wrestling for one night. If you enjoyed what you heard, definitely smash that like, subscribe if you haven't, and make sure you ring the bell so you stay notified. Any last words to impart on the chat before we call it tonight, Matt?
Birds aren't real.
Indeed, birds are not real. Don't let them fool you. Do not let them fool you. But we'll see y'all back here next week. Until then, make sure you always kick out. Thick Boys out.
Time has come, I'm ready to go. Venturing into the unknown. Fire's inside me, must be unleashed. People talk nonsense all the day. Shampoo kindness, all they can say. I can't get no satisfaction. Woo-hoo! Challenge may have come. Woo-hoo! Fighting just begun, but there's no stopping. People spreading out my wings. Let's fly high. Woo-hoo! Concentrate my power. Woo-hoo! In the final hour, in the end, I'm gonna win. I hope you die. Don't you know I'm unstoppable? Don't even try, cause you will fall. I got a strength deep in my soul that gives me courage and control. I'll go beyond the limit break. The universe is mine to take. I have no fear. I think it's clear. Let's keep guitar high, get all this dragon super. We got the skill to blow in our rain.